In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a very simple rolling die using Flash. And that rolling die is going to look like the one you have on the screen. You click on it, it rolls, click it again, and it stops at a random face. Okay, and to create that, let's open up a new blank document, and we'll start with the rectangle tool, which the keyboard shortcut for is R, and we'll open up the properties for that, and since we don't want a squared off square, that is, we want the corners to be a bit rounded, we're going to go ahead and give this a rounding radius of 5. Okay, and that will do all 4 corners. Press the Shift key and create our first face. Okay, that's not the color I want, so I'm going to take the selection tool, grab the color, come over to color, and you can see it's already a radial color, which is what I want to do, but I want to change this first color to red and the second color to a dark red. Okay, now we're going to need 2 more squares, so the easiest way to do that is to go ahead and grab the square we have, do a Control C and a Control V, another Control V, and we have 3 squares. Come over to the Free Transform tool, and we'll move the registration point down to the bottom so that the bottom line won't move while we're pulling down the top line. And you'll see that I'm working basically directly with fills right now, just fills, no lines. And let's do the same thing for this one. Bring it, squeeze it in, and let's skew them. Skew this one up, and skew this one over. Now I'm going to get it a little closer by bringing this to 400% so that I can get these to line up nicely. Okay, that's pretty close. Now, to make this even a little more 3D, we'll go ahead and select it again. Come down to this bottom corner and press the Control key to get the white arrow. And that's going to allow us to just shift this back line upward, so we get that corner to go up a little, and this whole line to be a bit shorter than the one in the front. Let's do that to the top as well. Come to the corner, press Control, bring it in. Okay, now it looks a little more 3D. And the color gradient isn't exactly where I want it, so we'll press F or select the Gradient Transform tool, and let's bring it, I'll make it a little larger, and put the center spot, or the brightest spot of the gradient, off of the cube. And take the brightest spot from each gradient and put it basically in the same place. And by doing that, what happens is it appears as if the light for the entire cube is coming from the same spot. Now, what about these white spaces? Well, for that we're going to need to create a line, and you can see it automatically selects black for us, but since we're not going to keep these lines, it won't really matter what color they come out. There's 1 line, 2 lines, and 3 lines. Get the selection tool. I'm going to curve these lines a bit. get those in place, and then that, as you can see, plugs up the outside of this, so we can take our bucket tool and fill it in. Well, first we're going to have to open this up a bit so we can change this to close small gaps. There we go. And again, we're going to need to change where the gradient is. Put it over here. Maybe expand it some more. Maybe not quite that much. There we go. Okay. Now, let's get rid of those lines by selecting everything and coming to here to delete them. And we have pretty much our background cube for our die. Now let's save this as a symbol. Press Control A to get everything, and press F8 to convert to symbol. And we're going to call it image die background. So basically this is an image, that's why it's a graphic, and it's the background of our die. And we'll keep the registration point up in the upper left corner. Press OK, and hopefully that'll show up in our library. There it is, image die background. And that's the end of the first segment.